Good morning, everyone. I have a union read for you and a twin flame read for you. The union read is 45D60 and the twin flame as usual. I was telling you yesterday about 3 pink trees that got planted across the street out of nowhere. I don't know where they came from or if the township planted them last year, but all I know is there's a park across the street from my house that goes all the way down my street, several blocks, and the only pink trees out there are 3 trees in front of my house. So it's really cool. I just wanted to show you a picture of them. Okay, so that's the tree on my property and then the 3 pink trees behind them. And you could actually, if my tree weren't there, you'd be able to see houses across the street behind the creek. So there's a creek across the street there behind those pink trees. And then there's another block of houses back there. But you can see how beautiful that is. So those are my new pink trees. And then we have the pictures of the reed, the union reed, 4D, 5D, 60. Okay, so the 4D, 5D, 60, the left is the feminine, the right's the masculine, the bridge between is the middle, the incoming divine feminine, the outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energies and the closing energies over here. And then here is the twin flame read, the main cards, the SIRIAN Starseed deck. And then here is the complete 7-deck read. Okay, so it is a lot of energy for the 7-deck read, so certain messages don't resonate with you. Don't force them to fit. It's a general read. If you want something more specific, my information is below, as well as my website at twinflames3344.com. And so here we go. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to all of you. Right before I started, there's actually some construction going on in front of my house off to the right. And right before I started the video, a construction worker with a hard hat walked across the street, on the property across the street, the grass right in front of the pink trees, talking on the phone, looking straight up at my house. So something else last night, after I finished doing my video last night, I turned around to go to bed, and I had my 3-tower crystal on my lap, and it fell on the ground, and one of the towers broke off. So I put the crystal, instead of becoming attached to the fact of the crystal that it was, I put it on my angels down here to see if it wanted to sit there. And it actually sits there quite perfectly. So we'll see how it likes being there. It was the message about, right, attachment and resistance, not resisting something but not attaching to it either. And the message I was getting is just, the alchemy of it, repurposing something. Like if something breaks, is there another use for it? Maybe it didn't want to be in that energy. And the energy came up around gluing something back together, because there was something else that I had glued back together multiple times, like 3 years ago in the beginning of the journey. And realizing that when something falls apart, it wasn't meant to stay together, right? And just going with the flow, allowing things like that to happen. When we get upset when things break that that we really love and like looking at. So that was the first thing I wanted to bring up. But the union energy here was done at 4:40 yesterday afternoon. And 4 is the Emperor, 40 is the Page of Cups. And we have the energies of yesterday and today. Yesterday was the 12th, today's the 13th, the Hangman, and the 13 of the Death, the transformation, transition, the Dark Knight card. So we go from, the Hangman and the World yesterday to the Fool is the transition into the new cycle, along with the 13, which is the 13th portal, right? The actual transition into another realm. So the underlying energy here was the Queen of Pentacles. The central energy was the Nine of Wands, or the Wounded Warrior. And the closing energy was the Seven of Wands, which is also the 33 of the Christ vibration, standing up for yourself without being defensive, taking the high ground. And there's definitely energies, and talking to my kids yesterday, definitely that energy of dealing with people who are very obstinate, not willing to do the right thing, and having to accept that there are people out in this world who aren't necessarily nice, or don't want to do the right thing, or don't give a crap about you. That kind of energy that's going away from you and allowing yourself to release it with love. And I was actually very proud of my kids yesterday about that kind of energy. So the Queen of Pentacles and the Wounded Warrior rises, leaving 7 of 9 flames behind, leaving 2 flames, the twin flames. Or together, the Queen of Pentacles and the Wounded Warrior rise above the ashes to tango, dancing the night away. But now I was getting dancing the right way, which is what I was just talking about with my kids. So incoming Divine Feminine here is the Four of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Starseed energy. The Queen of Pentacles with a time out to clear. And salt was coming up a lot this week, actually, to decompress at home with 2 flames, with a fresh download coming in. Red, orange, yellow, castle, right? That lower chakra home of safety and security. And then blue or green, blue, purple, landscape, and lotus or pink flowers then blooming on top. The large hail coming from 5D love, exuding, love overflowing, and aqua love, the light of the mother. So we have the 4D here on the bottom row. Ascension, the 3 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Swords. The Divine Feminine with the world in their right hand, ascending the Middle East in a potbelly dance. And I did a video a lot about stuff coming up around the energies in the Middle East regarding Adam and Eve and our origins. And then Potbelly Hill and Tepe came up, so Göbekli Tepe. And then the Ashbridge book, which I brought up a little bit in my video last night, which came up from archive.org around the first Pennsylvania family, George Ashbridge and Mary Malin. So it went into some information about Lower Merion, which is a town nearby, right? And I grew up here, so it's very familiar to me. And the Ashbridge house there, from the Georgian period, so that was coming up a lot, Georgia, because Georgian comes up above Armenia, but also Phoenician was coming up there, and there's lots of connections for me. My daughter's in Georgia. We both went to school in Arizona with Phoenix there, so the Phoenix energies, and actually my best friend from school has a Phoenix on her. So the period proportions erected 1769 of that building. 69 was coming up lots yesterday, which is the Ace of Pentacles, that offer of a new life of perfect contentment, but also it's the offer of the gold coin, the Christ consciousness, the unity consciousness. And the Quakers were coming up here, as well as the Villanova estate. And what I told you last night in my video was so funny. I had just watched Laura Eisenhower's video yesterday, and then I read this paragraph about the Haverford Hotel, which stated President Eisenhower's granddaughter enjoyed her wedding reception here, which is kind of crazy. And then there was a long story that was very interesting about Elizabeth Ashbridge, born into a ship surgeon family in England, and then made her way to Pennsylvania and became a Quaker, or followed the Quaker religion anyway. So the Quakers were coming up here. So at 529, which is the Hierophant and the 29 of the 3 of Wands, being present in the moment, it could be waiting for your ships to come in, but what are you waiting for, right? Because then you're not being present in the moment. The 4D Quaker in the Middle East world, you know, there's a big contrast there, right? The Divine Masculine suffering in silence, perhaps dealing with a sister, hiding in the woods, bridging by Trinity, coming together to co-create. In the 5D here, we have the Ace of Cups, the 9 of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine, new love, self-love, exuding in the aqua light, the Divine Mother, The Divine Masculine, curious about their abilities and the ability to manifest, bridged by the Nine of Wands, walking away, and the Sabbath flame coming up. So Shamash was coming up, which, of course, I'm going to love that word because it has ash in it, and it really is the reflection of ash on the other side with the two M's in the middle, MM, which I talked about yesterday, as Metatron and Michael being the magnetic and the electric, and the ash, and the wave, the ash. I'm trying to think of what was coming up with the Mawam word that we were talking about yesterday. So it was the wave and the ash, and then the two U's, the twins, in the middle of that. So here's the kind of that same energy coming up. And then some of the Jewish holidays were coming up, and so yesterday the 14th and 15th came up of June, and here the Jewish holidays were coming up the 14th and 15th of this month. So we had the fallen soldier on the 14th, and then the Israel's Independence Day on the 15th, which again, the 14th is the angel, the 15th is the devil. So having to do with the angel and devil, the polarities, the light and the shadow. So again, Shamash comes up, the MM being the middle of the Shah and the ash. The attendant candle, the lighter of the candles, has left the building. Since year after year, they let him burn out. Love and eagerness to learn, surrender to the nine, the flame of no return, the space between, the first to expire. Oh, very interesting, because in talking about the stuff yesterday, the Dalmatia language had expired. So in the 60 here, we have the Tower, the Six of Pentacles, and the Abundance. The Divine Feminine Tower lighting up the dark sky, reaching far and wide. Oh, and when I woke up this morning, I don't know about you guys, when I was young, I dreamt a lot about running and jumping and then flying. And I'd be able to stay up in the air. Like other people would fall right back down and I would be able to stay up there. You know, like kind of like doing breaststroke with your legs. I'd be able to get up there and really float around the air for a while. And I had that dream again this morning. I remembered it, or I was still dreaming it when I woke up. But it had to do with men who were very playful and loving, like very Leo energy, where, you know, you could do that kind of stuff, run and jump and fly and float around, just like having fun like kids would in a gym at school or something like that. But also then running up and hugging each other and getting them to laugh in a moment's notice, as opposed to someone who'd be very serious and be annoyed with you if you ran up and hugged them. It was very much that playful, joyful Leo energy. It was so beautiful coming up. So the Divine Feminine Tower lighting up the dark sky, reaching far and wide. So let me know how many of you actually had those kind of dreams of running and jumping and staying up in the air. But it's also bringing up the 1, 2, 3 jump instead of counting to 10. The Divine Masculine Abundance, the mother lode open wide, measuring the equilateral triangle, wing to wing, hand to hand, and that's like measuring for a suit as well, while standing in plasma, ash, from fight or flight, right? The ashes left over, the phoenix rising from the ashes, left over from the fight or flight, bridging with scales of women and money, holding all the cards, leaving the wounded warrior asking for help, forced to humble themselves or oneself. The Divine Feminine energy here of empowerment and completion with being love and the universal love and epiphanies and the flash of light. The Divine Masculine, the ending of the nightmare, curious about their abilities, and the mothership and magic plasma act. The bridge being the Trinity to surrender, to sharing, and asking the Divine Feminine for help. The outgoing Divine Masculine was the Lemurian dolphin energy, waiting just below the surface with the truth to play ball and ascend steps to heaven on earth, 2 by 2 in a spiral formation to the 9 of Pentacles, the sovereignty, with crystal chest and wise pure bird, a hoot, pink trees popping up out of nowhere across the street, 3 to be exact, at 552 to 53, which is the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords, and the 5 of the Hierophant, leaving a gift for the Divine Feminine while rising above the drama in the Middle East, or the Middle East restaurant. And then my friend from when I was young, Tracy, came up, so the name Tracy may be significant here. Divine Feminine, the Queen of Pentacles, on her side, along with Aries, Scorpio, and Pisces. And I had a long conversation with my Pisces daughter yesterday. My son, Scorpio, left yesterday. The Aries energy, I don't have Aries in my chart, and I don't think it's significant either of my kids. But in the other calculation in astrology, I come up as an Aries, so that's kind of significant coming up here. And Queen of Pentacles is, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, and I'm Virgo. So it's that kind of energy coming up, the Divine Feminine. The Divine Masculine energy is coming up as the Page of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles, which can be two kids or two people at work, but they're younger energies. Could be messages as well. But the Nine of Pentacles has to do with sovereignty. And then the only court card energy was Taurus on the Divine Masculine side. The number that came up in this grid for this union read was 60, which is the Six of Swords, which is moving to peaceful waters, right? A peaceful place, out of your head on vacation, or, smooth sailing. So the horizontal pillars came up as 13, 10, and 37, which is Death, the Wheel, and the King of Cups, which is unconditional love. The vertical pillars came up as 4, 4, 1, 18, 9, 17, and 16. So that would be the Four of Cups, that grounding, integrating, and mastering of love. The One of the Magician, the Moon, the Hermit, the Star, and the Tower, again with the 60 of the Six of Swords, moving to a peaceful place. So the 13th portal, very significant here, destined to open and opened to unconditional love and peace. Scorpio and Libra were coming up on that side. Very interesting, because my son's Scorpio, Libra rising. And then on the other side was grounding and integrating love magic at night with the Hermit, Dream, Epiphanies, moving to peace or going on vacation. And the signs that came up on this side were Gemini, Cancer, Virgo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. All right, so now we go into the twin flame read that's in front of you. And usually I put my light on, even when it's daytime, but I was guided not to put the light on and allow the natural light today. So in that union read, we had some patterns came up, like on the feminine side was the Queen of Pentacles, on the masculine side was the Page of Pentacles, and then 3, 6, 9 came up for the Pentacles. So that was very interesting. All right, so the Queen of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and the energy of the 3, 6, 9. So the Tesla energy, but also the 3, 6, 9 of the 3D, 4D, 5D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the fact that 36 is 9, that's the way it's written in numerology, which is the Atlas energy, the weight of the world upon your shoulders, the 10 of Wands. And the Wands energy in the read came up as the two flames of the wounded warrior, less the Phoenix rising. So it's the, the wounded warrior is 9 flames, and then the 7 of Wands has 7. So in the Phoenix rising picture of the 7 of Wands in this deck, it's the flame with their flame in hand rising above the other 5 in the picture. Or there's actually 6 in the picture. So leaving 6, so there we got the 6 and 9 again coming up, and of course that leaves 3. And then we just brought up 69 again, which is funny because it came up so much yesterday. So the cups were coming up as 1 in the 5D, waiting for 7 to arrive, right, which is the synchronicities, the 7 of cups. And the swords were coming up as 4, the 4 of swords, and then the 9 and 1 of swords, or 91, thinking about coming over to play ball, to cheer them up and play. So very much that energy came up in my dream from this morning. The SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut and dealt at 612, the Lovers and the Hangman. And at 620, 20 being Judgment, ES came up, which if you pronounce ES, it's S, which is the Sophia, the Mother, and the Aqua Light coming up here. At 632, I completed the read with all the clarifications. So please tell me what's going on with Mercury right now, because I'm all of a sudden yesterday and today I'm having an awful time trying to get my words out. So 632, the Lovers and the Journey. And the code line was all about the number 6. There were no numerology cards on the code line today. It was more simple here and all about the Knight of Wands. But the Knight of Wands was reversed in the read here today, which is that energy of deceit and hostilities, because the Page and Knight in the energy deck are coming up in my field of view right now. And those two have to do with deceit and hostility. And that energy coming up, and that definitely has been coming up with what we're having to deal with in the 3D world. So we have the higher self here. We have the Starseed, which is the Fool. We have Strength, and then before the read, the Star, or no, not the Star, the Solar Deity, which is the Sun, and then after the read, Reflection, or the Hermit, came up. We have 2 Pentacles, 4 Wands, 1 Cup, and 1 Sword. So mostly Wands here, which has to do with passions and physical activity, you know, getting a fire lit under your butt. And then we had the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the King of Cups, and the King of Pentacles here. And before the read, the Knight of Cups came up. So 2 Kings, 2 Knights, and the Queen of Wands. But the Knight and Queen of Wands were the only characters in the main part of the read. The numbers here were all about double 6s, double 8s, and double 9s. And of course, I told you 6 was on the code line, which is the Lovers. 66 is the Queen of Pentacles coming up again. 88 being the dance of the twins, both in their masculine and feminine, doing the dance side by side. And then the 99 of compassion, universal selflessness, and endings. And remembering to have that compassion for those who are even being, you know, very obstinate or negative or actually mean or cruel to you. Rising above and being loved no matter what, right? Because fire just increases the fire, as opposed to love then neutralizes the fire. So the other numbers that came up here were 2411, which is the Queen of Wands, and the 11 of Justice. The 1 of the Magician, the 4 of the Emperor. The sequence 6, 7, 8, 9. So going from the 6 into the 5D, 7, 8, 9. But also that's the last part of the cycle, 6, 7, 8, 9, because 1 is actually the foot into the new cycle. The 10 is the 1. So we have 68, which is the Page of Pentacles, 89, which for me is the Phi energy, the reflection of 98, which is the human body temperature, and then going outside those lines, either expanding hot or expanding cold, but always coming back to the center again. We have the 14 of the Temperance and the Angels, the 46 of the 6 of Cups, the children loving each other, the 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal humble servant, the 78 of the Dream Family, the 10 of Pentacles, the 45 of the 5 of Cups, the 56 of the 2 of Swords, and the 9, 10, begin again and again and again. Don't forget to come back to center again. The code line here and the interpretation here with no numerology card, just the number 6 of the Lovers, and the egg, very significant here, along with the Knight of Wands that was reversed in the read, as well as height and high DNA, high vibration coming up on both sides here, right? The flank, the bookends that were just coming up, like in the words I brought up, like Shamash, and the Mewim that I brought up yesterday with the MEW3 energies of that one symbol. The reflection, and then the monkey in the middle, is that energy coming up. So the egg being a key, and then eats were coming up, like good eats, with salt. Here's salt coming up again. With the 6, the Lovers, the Sophia 9, the collective divine feminine, the high vibration DNA, and the Knight of Wands giving them a hard time. Half time, so taking time out, and heart transplants were also coming up, and also things that are tax-free or without tax. Also that epiphany energy. Sorry about that. It took me a minute there to get that sneeze out. I was just going to say the aha moment, so I guess my sneeze was a message around that. The energy of aha and come on, or in other words, encouragement. Encouragement being key to the Sophia, right? The Sophia is the mother, but also the key to supporting the mother as well. She needs support too, and it's 10:18 on the clock. the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, the 18 of the Moon. We just went to 19, 10, 19, which is the Sun. So the Sun and the Moon, and a turn for the better. Sunrise, sunset, and the Sophia. I always get Sophia as like a matchmaker, like an old woman who's a Jewish matchmaker. So that might be coming up for somebody. But encouragement being key to the Sophia or for the Sophia, the lover's holy night of warriors here, as we come up upon the Jewish holiday on the 14th, having to do with the warriors, those who have fallen. The egg, also the younger sister, a key support for lovers, or the 6th, the high Knight of Wands at halftime. So the high vibration that the lovers need to stay in when dealing with that negative energy of hostility or deceit, and then taking a break, taking a time out. Also dealing with younger kids. Maybe you're telling some kids to take a time out, because if you're in a daycare or something with these hostile energies, you know, these kids are going to be in time out because they're going to be kind of crazy. So the aha energy, also Ha comes up as the crown energy, HA, a crown energy, the key to Sophia. 614 was coming up for me, and 15, and here April 14th and 15th coming up. But the 614 of the 6 of the lovers and the 14 of the high vibration, right? So if you take the Knight of Wands that's reversed here, which is that deceit energy, it's Sagittarius. In order to increase that energy to the high Sag, you then get the Temperance card, which is the 14 that's coming up here. The 6 of the lovers and the high vibe Saggy, that I always call God, the Temperance card, the angels of the 14, the higher love timeline, the higher love time. So then, because I have EI as the egg in the beginning of this read and HT at the end of the read, it's literally the number 8 with EI and HT at the end, and then what's missing in the middle is the G, which is God, and the message between. So the message between is first starts out with ATS, which is the younger sister, and indeed and truly, that energy, and then the 6 of the lovers and the high vibe DNA, and dealing with the Knight of Flames, but also the night, as in day and night, the Knight of Flames, of that can be drama, of fire, right? When things heat up at the height of the moment, HT comes up, which is abbreviation for height. But also you could be dealing with heart transplants, right? Especially Leo energy rules the heart. And so, you know, Leos tend to be hot-tempered, and then they can end up having heart attacks when they get older because they get really stressed out all the time. So there's kind of that energy. Somebody could be having a heart transplant as well, or having a bypass, that kind of energy coming up. But again, it's tax season, which stresses everybody out, so it could just be relating to that energy as well, and knowing when to take a time out. And the encouragement being key to Sophia and supporting others, perhaps some Leo energy or masculine type Leo energies, the lover's holy night of warriors here, right? Try not to get worried, try not to turn on to problems that upset you. Oh, don't you know I'm going too low. Everything's all right, yes, everything's fine, and it's cool and the ointment's sweet. For the fire in your head and feet. Close your eyes and relax. Think of nothing tonight. So it's coming up from Jesus Christ Superstar and Mary Magdalene, you know, loving him and taking care of him, the wounded warrior when they're down, and Spirit's connecting with me. The egg of the younger sister, a key support for lovers, or the 6th, the high vibration of the Knight of Wands at halftime. The aha, the key to the Sophia, the inspiration and the support. The A crown, the ha is the crown. The 614 of the lovers, and converting or alchemizing the lower vibration Sagittarius into the higher vibrational Sagittarius, which is then the God energy of temperance, the higher love. We start with the, oh, by the way, the EI, it means egg, but it also means pine, or the pine tree, so that references the pineal gland as well. It also means tongue, voice, and sound, which we're just talking about the magnetic versus the electric. The fire and the mother, no and not, her and him, water, and an I, the third eye, and we, like we are as one. The 80 energy of the Leo. 8 is the Leo, 0 is the source energy backing it up, shining. And the destiny of accepting strength, and the Queen of Wands. And for some masculines, maybe accepting your Knight of Wands side. Maybe the part of yourself you have trouble accepting. Like for the feminines, being very, we come out as the ones who don't fit in, right? Or the black sheep, the ones who don't, can be warriors. It depends. And this is where, twins can get caught. You can't follow everybody else's mold or everyone else's journey, because your change comes from where you're coming from. So if you're coming from a fiery place, your conversion is about accepting your swords place or your cups place, and vice versa. So if you come from a very cups place, being very meek and loving, you're accepting your fiery side. Maybe you see that as your shadow side. So wherever your main wounds are coming from is a piece of you that you don't accept. Right? Or maybe you don't accept that piece of you because there was someone in your life who traumatized you, who had that personality, so you reject that part of yourself. That is a big wound. So really feel into that and see what part of you you're not accepting, because it's a part of you that's like someone who abused you. Okay, and the Queen of Wands specifically, and that Leo energy is coming up around being strong. So what is the dark side of that Leo energy? Right? Because that can be a really bad temper, right? So I was raised with a mother, she wasn't Leo, but she had that Leo, like worse than that. Because, think about Leo and Gemini reversed. That was my mother's temper. She would look at me like she hated me. And obviously as an adult, I can deal with that because she had issues with her parents. But as a little child, I felt like she hated me. She would look at me with such hate in her face. And then that Leo temper of exploding physically and wanting to hit you. So it's all that kind of energy coming up, but not because of the person who did that to you, but because of your own rejection of you, that part of you, right? That's not acceptable because that was the person who abused you. So then you're denying a part of yourself that may have those traits. So really feel into that and see what comes up for you. So let's see here. We have also the good egg that's tax-free. And remember, the number 8 is EI of the egg, HT of the height, of the high vibration, and the God in the middle. So the good egg that's tax-free or free range, strong, dancing with God at the center of it all. An I of we of God at halftime. Also regarding 0 point, right? Meeting in the middle. So new information comes up here. We start with the 7 of Pentacles upright, which for me in this deck, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, is the Divine Feminine's heart in the E tower, like Rapunzel. And beneath that is, from the bottom up, is the Sun upright, the Sun rising I was just getting, which we're talking about Leo. The 8 of Cups upright, the Knight of Cups reversed, the 10 of Cups reversed, and the 5 of Wands reversed, and then the 7 of Pentacles upright on top. And the message they were just sending me right now had to do with, why am I talking with Leo when we're in Aries season? Well, they were telling me once Aries passes, you are in Leo season, because everything that builds up to Lionsgate is considered part of Leo season. And the same thing with Aries. So everything building up to Aries season is Aries. And then Sagittarius, because we brought up the 3 fire signs as the significant gates of the portals, fire portals. So we're going into Leo. So where are we? Today is the 13th. And my clock on this just turned to 3400, which is the 8 of Wands, the arrows of love, the energetic exchange between the masculine and feminine. And it's 1028 on my clock, which is the 28 of the twins and the 10 of the turn for the better of the Wheel of Fortune. But we start out with Sunshine, which is Leo, and Lionsgate, the 8-8, and we're talking about the number 8, which is the infinity, of course, and the dance between the masculine and feminine, and balance, exposure and walking away, or taking a hike. The Knight of Cups is reversed, unhappy without family support, or unhappy being with negative family around, or from family that doesn't know how to show love emotions, or any emotions, or unhappy family in a losing battle, again, hostilities and deceit coming up, with the divine feminine's heart left in the E tower as Rapunzel. So again, the 8 coming up of the EI, of the egg and the God, or the good egg, because remember I wrote good the other day and I wrote God instead, and they do this to me all the time. And then at the height of emotions, at the height of passions, at the height of anything, there is God in the center of it. The new information in the energetic exchange of that 8 of Wands, with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, dysfunction or loss of the family, the business, the community, the world, or the world at large at tax season. The Emperor upright, and that's very Scorpio. So here we have Leo and Scorpio, which is the bull and the ego, right? And that comes up as the two antagonists in the world card, right? Are the bull and the lion at the bottom of the world card. So we have the Emperor upright, the Hierophant upright next to each other, and the Sovereign, right? So like the two patriarchy welcoming in one woman sovereign to make everybody happy. That's just what I'm getting now, you know? Like if they're forced to take a woman on board, they'll take them on. But she's coming up as the girl, right? She's in her sovereignty, making things all pretty. And then here we have the Emperor and the Hierophant, who are all about business, right? That's church and state. So church and state and the feminine sovereign, disconnecting from controlling wealthy family, business, or community, or financial dysfunction or misappropriations. The Page of Wands is upright, but like I said, the Knight of Wands here is reversed in the read. The Queen of Cups is upright, not sharing with the Hierophant and the wounded warrior with bad news of losing battle or ending the battle and choosing a new path. With X, with Cancer, or someone may be on chemo or choosing radiation, or just getting X-rays, or someone being accused of X-ray vision. The Divine Feminine's heart receives new information, clarity, with a lot of back and forth, that 8 of Wands, that energetic exchange, with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, dysfunction or lost, or issues in the world at tax time with money and politics and religion and sovereignty, or queen, right? So the queen is in the focus. Politics, religion, and the queen, the sovereign. That's also the Emperor, the Hierophant, and the sovereign. Now she's playing with the big boys, right? She no longer has a husband to protect her. And this is not actual. It's the idea of that energy of being without a man to protect you, right? The old template. The playing with the big boys now, choosing the dark side, excitement of the Queen of Cups, and the inequity within a marriage, religion, establishment, institution, the patriarchy, societal norms, or Taurus controlling the wounded warrior, defending their ground but getting weak, right? Weakening them down until they can't fight anymore at 719, which is the Chariot and the Sun. And the Chariot is Cancer energy along with the Leo energy there. And you know, Cancer is the sign before Leo. All right, so you have to get through Cancer before you get to Leo. You have to get through the mother before you get to the Lion, to the Sun. You have to ride the vehicle of the Chariot in order to get to the Sun, the central Sun. The rumors flying, spying, lying. The kid with a smart mouth or negative self-talk. Immature words or bad news after a battle. To make a choice to release Akashic records, to take out the binding, so release the articulation of the book. Can't open the book anymore. It falls apart. The Page of Pentacles, investigating every angle, along with the Knight of Pentacles, helping them out, working overtime and time for a break, or car needs work, or someone had a flat tire, or a streetcar named Desire. The Knight of Pentacles with big balls, to journey on without a chariot, or in chaos, in fight or flight, or being stressed out all the time. Sad thinking about leaving the ranch or the country house. The batter is out, or destitute and must choose something different. Tired of all the fighting, can't take it anymore, needing peace away from it all. right? So it's like being someone being so stubborn, the wounded warrior, right? That they have to beat them and beat them and beat them until they finally surrender. And it's when they surrender, it's God's way of saying, you know, when you surrender, you're going to get exactly what you want. But if you refuse to surrender because you're insisting on your will, then you're going to get what you want. It's your free choice. Or have been reaping rewards of X's brokenness. This also can reference the feminine's brokenness, or broke or without a car, or kids working really hard here to earn. my Merkaba just fell off the flower there. I don't know if you saw that, but oh, it's so funny because now the Merkaba is nestled in the back of the fairy's head. She's like leaning on the Merkaba. That's so cute. All right, so there may be two kids who are working really hard enough to earn enough for a car, as the Merkaba fell on the little angel or fairy figure there. So we have forgiving and learning, and beneath that was trust, with passionate, energetic exchange, with new passion of burning the past in the splitting of the bulls, or the running of the bulls, hiding the red flags, exposing all about Mary, or impatient Sagittarius or drinker here. So anyway, I was just talking about my mother, whose name is Mary. But I don't know if she had Taurus or Sagittarius. I know she had Cancer in her chart and Gemini. Do I remember what she had in her chart? I don't know. I know she had Cancer and Gemini. I'd have to look her chart up again. But you know, burning the past, all of those issues, because we all know anything our parents did to us, you know, they were dealing with the issues from their parents, and it just gets passed down until someone does the shift and sees things from a new perspective. Hiding the red flags so the bulls don't get triggered, exposing all about Mary, or impatient Sagittarius or drinker, which my mother was not. I mean, she liked a cocktail now and then, but she wasn't a drinker. But there's this energy of that Knight of Wands energy here, of the impatient Sagittarius, right? The dark side of the Saggy of God, and the drinker. You know, because so much of our society drinks. So it's not just one person. It's a wound for all of us. So we have Leo upright, Aries upright, Taurus upright, Cancer reversed, and Sag reversed. One feminine glued to the ceiling, one hiding their toes, right, because they're ashamed of their toes, one a fallen angel or fell off the wagon, as two bulls split while two in the sun are on vacation, ignoring it all, the lovebirds, or while parents away, the kids will play, and here's that deceitful energy or hostile energy coming up. And, you know, that could be kids doing drugs, kids having sex, kids wrecking the house while you're gone, or chaos all around, but taking time out, the parents taking time out to be with each other regardless. It's like they'd never taken a time out because they knew this kind of stuff would happen, but now not caring, like we deserve a break. So that kind of energy is coming up here. But 736 of the Chariot and the Atlas, the weight of the world upon your shoulders, you know, needing to take a break. With rebirth coming up as 16 in the Tower, and beneath it karmic completion of the 10, a turn for the better. It's like wiping the slate clean, right? Taking the binding out of the Akashic Book of Records. So home and marriage, religion, establishment, Taurus, the patriarchy, the Pope, and injustice and lack, or Libra reversed and Taurus reversed coming up here. And those also can be, if it's not a negative Libra and a negative Taurus, it can be someone who's not Libra who has Libra in their chart, and someone who's not Taurus but has Taurus in their chart. The patriarchy and Pope came up here, which don't always come up when I read the Hierophant. But the Knight of Swords with the truth to share can be triggering and frustrating when the other doesn't understand. Competing or competition and fights or fighting, infighting, and butterflies watching with rats by the logs. It's like the cheerleaders and the boys, you know, on the side watching the game. The survival of the fittest is the 3D. Imagining your dream life is the 5D. Okay, two different worlds, you know, fighting and competing, and then instead of that, imagining your dream and then becoming it in the 5D. Uninspired, pissed off, hostile, not aroused, no humor, No passion or feeling abused, but not doing anything about it. Reaping rewards of the divine feminine's heart and the support of that, the Sophia, and choosing the dark, the chaos, the brokenness, the impatience, no longer patient, losing their temper, and facing the tower moment because they refuse to listen. Right here again is that example of the wounded warrior. If you want to get beat and beat and beat again over and over and over, that's your choice. Or you can surrender and allow the universe to guide you. That 1, 2, 3 jump, the quantum leap, the rebirth, like a mental breakdown, happens when all parts, this was in my abnormal psychology class in college, right? You only have a mental breakdown when all parts of your life fail. So instead of taking a leap of faith to make a change where you believe in yourself, then that's when the tower moment comes in, because the universe says, well, this is it. Here you are, the wounded warrior. You've been beaten and beaten and beaten over again. Well, I finally have to come in and knock you all the way down, so you get the hint. And this is at 8:14, which is then again the 8 of the Strength card in Leo, and the 14 of the Temperance card in that higher love and the angels. And then we turn the page at 16, and here's the Tower. Judgment, arrogance, and a wake up to the past, jealousies and depressions of the Queen of Wands upright, watching the Emperor receiving the Messenger of Truth's messages. The recent past of the Six of Wands upright. The journey, perhaps of good news and leading the way after split and lies and a need for courage to perform and receive offers from the Queen of Swords, who turned her back in order to deal with a fallen angel between the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Or losing patience with each other, or Sagittarius reversed, Saggy, again the dark side of God, causing issues, the Hermits upright, suffering in silence post-war, not sleeping, awakening and standing up for themselves, fending off others and taking the high ground. Starseed reversed, embarrassing themselves, or the Knight of Wands reversed, falling short, the player falling short, or Aries falling short of the King of Swords' expectations, right? And this can be growing up with a father who you can never please. You're always going to fall short, so you continue that pattern as you grow up. Always wanting to please your father and never being able to succeed. That becomes your MO. The wounded warrior, dead tired at the new moon, or of deceptions, of Cancer reversed, Aries reversed, Sag, Scorpio, and Cancer all reversed. The central energy of the High Priestess upright, offering love. The Queen of Cups and the Page of Cups, loving each other, sticking together, supporting each other, allowing the negative influence to fall away and wish them well, learning the lessons of the world, as the Page of Cups is vulnerable, making a foolish mistake and feeling trapped when the Queen of Wands, Aries reversed, then turns away. The Page of Cups growing up and getting back in her face to tell her how it is, and then wish her well and be done with those willing to take you for a ride. Pisces and Virgo upright here, Aries and Sag reversed, and the King of Cups reversed is not there to teach kids the ways of the world. And again, this could be the absentee father, or children of a divorce, or the mother having to be both the mother and the father. Doesn't always work, right? Because she doesn't have necessarily a lot of that masculine energy of teaching the things that a father would normally teach their child. At 9:16, which is the Hermit and the Tower. A face-off between fire and water. It seems here that water has the upper hand, especially when dealing with the women and kids. Challenged by the Knight of Wands, reversed player falling short of expectations, of energy, of holding back their true desires. With the Queen of Swords upright, with issues at work, perhaps dealing with issues at work or an apartment, school, church, gym, art center, whatever it is for you, a place of co-creation or a place of where contracts are made, burdened by the workplace issues or contract issues, the Queen of Pentacles reversed can't sleep at night, or suffering in silence, or dealing with their sister, or stressed out, or their sister's stressed out, purging, destined to look back and then come out shining, exposing all, or letting or enjoying a vacation or fun in sun, or fun in the sun with kids or pets, or issues at work with the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed, and the two of them may be meeting face to face soon. And that can be a couple who are unhappy, it can be siblings, But the Queen of Pentacles and King of Pentacles, both reversed, meeting face to face, coming up here soon. Libra upright, Leo upright, and Dark Priestess upright with the Knight of Pentacles upright, offering help or healthy alternative to negative self-talk, to bad news or rumors, or really immature conversations. So here's someone trying to offer healthy alternatives to that. To have self-satisfaction with the King of Wands after calmed down from jealousy and having lost their temper, or dealing with Scorpio and Sag, both reversed, bleeding out in a falling out or negative past with the King of Swords. Again, that father who may be good and in their integrity, but they can be seen as cold as well and impossible to please, right? That perfection with a short fuse or avoiding change or disaster. Now is the Eight of Pentacles reversed, perhaps arrangements that are not working out, disappointment or feeling sad, feeling badly about something or about lover or affections or Gemini here and Pisces. And here we have the mutable energies coming up. Sag, Gemini, Pisces are all mutable. Gemini coming up, jealous and childish in a falling out, frustrated, or two in a relationship. One jealous and the other immature words, right? They say really stupid, nasty things at times. Dumping emotional attachments to the other, holding back money owed perhaps, or unwilling to do the right thing, right? Because it's petty. And definitely this came up with my kids yesterday. So 931 is the Hermit, and then the 31 of the Five of Wands, expanding, fighting, competition, conflict. But remember, it's also the pursuit of happiness. The Knight of Swords upright, pulling hair, cracking the whip, having enough of this. I'm done. Post-war, not going to get an apology. With the Six of Cups reversed and the King of Cups reversed, unfair, in debt, or scamming, the Empress reversed. Perhaps there's no longer spying, or the unhappy family is just so over it in a losing battle, with the Knight of Swords, messenger of truth, upright, coming in, an emotional cycle that's so over, and the Hermit missing their flame. Kids, King of Cups reversed, Empress reversed, hearing from the Knight of Swords, or messenger of truth, or watching a message together, or watching TV or a movie, to end the conflict, healing a three-way situation, with the Queen of Swords, romantic tie from the past. Awake to standing up for self and for the injured and forgotten, letting go to help fix, repair, or make amends, coming clean or cleaning up the act or space, to rise above, awaken, and come out. Soon here for the twins is the Four of Cups reversed, no longer an island unto themselves. The Two of Cups is upright here, the King of Pentacles reversed, and the High Priestess upright, all traveling to peace, moving, visiting from instability and injustice, with the Hermit shedding light on it. Perhaps the King of Pentacles reversed has an aide or a nurse, or is seeing a counselor, or helping them to find peace where there is none. Pisces is upright, Libra reversed, and Virgo upright, as the King of Pentacles reversed is coming clean about their guilt and shame. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Queen of Wands. So again, we talked about the Queen of Wands and the part of yourself that you don't like to see or you can't accept about yourself because it's related to someone who abused you. The twin flames are the Queen of Wands, which, you know, she's of the King and Queen of Wands, she's the more magnanimous, right? She's got more personality. She's more enticing, right? The Man of Passion is more direct about what he wants, where the feminine's much more social and she loves to talk and get attention in that way. Very artistic and creative. In this deck, the SIRIAN STARSEED deck, she comes up as the multitasker. You know, she's got her hands in everything. Very fiery, very active, in a very physical way and passionate way. The Queen of Wands feeling pain, ending pain, and betrayal, or back-related treatments, starting over, no longer bored at least, and the Page of Swords reversed with bad news, lying and rumors. I was just getting Silence of the Lambs. Silence or cutting words, and the Queen of Wands happy with themselves, rising above without options, but to heal and forgive. Healing family issues comes up, and it is safe to love and make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. around the twin flames, or how they're seen, in need of strength to come together and heal and purge. The Page of Wands and the Journeyman, coming in together to end the cycle of unhappiness, to be courageous. Leo and Aquarius both reversed right here, and they're two sides of the same coin, or needing strength to come together to dump someone or end the cycle with inspiration and good news and lead the way. The challenge or the block here for the twins is the Ace of Swords reversed, the lies, the divide, the split, announcing what others may not want to hear, not wanting to be the bad guy, but you have to be in your truth. Insecure without tools to deal, concerned they don't have enough or aren't enough. And even more so here comes up for the twins, manifestation and leadership big time here. With the world upright and the steel divine feminine in the 5D world, the divine masculine remote viewing while with someone else perhaps. The wounded warrior, King of Wands, detoxing jealousy with a romantic tie from the past and a falling out. The King of Swords upright after a sudden event, or just feeling not enough, which is why he comes off cold sometimes at 9:53, which is the Hermit, and the 53 of the Knight of Swords. The King of Cups reversed with one eye open, the left one, suffering in silence or dealing with his sister, with the King of Pentacles reversed as well here. So we got the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles both reversed with the it's actually, oh, it is. So the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles both reversed with the Nine of Swords between them. All right, so that's that suffering, stressed out, being up nights, purging, right? Rapunzel in the E-Tower. All that energy between the two kings, King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, both reversed. But now the King of Pentacles can also be the dumping of Akashic records here. And then we have the Hermit upright, finding peace by walking away. Awake to triggers, needing to heal and forgive. The Queen of Swords, feeling injured and left behind, but letting go to clean up a bit and rise above. The King of Cups reversed. The Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower, embarrassing self perhaps, or just lacking faith, falling on faith or falling from grace. And that can reference myself again, falling from my mother, falling from grace is her middle name. Or just, again, lack of faith in self. Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower, embarrassing self in front of the Queen of Wands. So again, just like the masculine can't live up to the King of Swords father, the feminine can't live up to the Queen of Wands mother. And here's those wounds that are coming up that you need to accept within yourself. Or fell for them and in need of courage, for good health, to journey on to higher self. Challenged by the Knight of Wands reverse player, coming off the island in a split, overworking, not working, for the wounded warrior, King of Cups reversed, suffering in silence with the King of Pentacles reversed, or Akashic records of hermit with light and moving to peaceful travels or going to a peaceful place or just more of a peaceful life. Walking away from jealousy or insincere family or an emotional cycle to end the conflict with the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower or Rapunzel on the journey with frustration of sexual connection, falling on faith or from grace, lacking faith in oneself and in higher self, which is your other. The challenge being the Knight of Wands reversed, not working out, and the Queen of Wands starting over, no longer an island unto themselves. And that was a scam call, so that may be a message for you guys. Again, the Knight of Wands reversed, the player, or someone who's not a player. Maybe they had good intentions of getting something done, but then they fall short on energy, or it's someone holding back their true desires, their true intentions. And so therefore, of course, they're going to fall because it's ultimately lying. So the Knight of Wands not working out, and that could be someone who's upset with themselves because they haven't been working out. And then the Queen of Wands starting over, no longer an island unto herself, finding the courage to split or find clarity and get the truth from the wounded warrior, King of Cups reversed, stressed out with the King of Pentacles reversed, hermit, or professional at work and leaving on vacation, or walking away for good. So this is someone who definitely needs a break. So they're either going to take a vacation that they're never allowed to take, or they're walking away for good, or they're threatening that. Say, either you let me, and this can be about getting the you know what too, like telling people at work, I'm not going to get it. And you thinking that you're automatically going to get fired if you say you're not going to get it, and actually that's not always happening. So you can refuse it and say, yeah, well, if I'm going to get fired, I'm going to get fired, and just walk away. You may not even get fired. So think about that. So and that it ended here at 10:04, which is message received. The divine feminines hail from the higher self and the wounded warrior. The divine feminines hail. You know the Hail Mary coming up here, but also the hail is the download coming in to the crown. And that's the aha moment. The ha is the crown. The Hail Mary is coming up as the messages, the downloads. And they just wanted me to bring up the Heil Hitler, all right? Those are the polarities, the Hail Mary and the Heil Hitler. And remember, when I had a few past life regressions several years ago, and in one of my past life regressions, and I brought this up before, Jesus came in with John Lennon, but with Hitler and Lincoln too. Like they were all coming up together as one. Right? Because they're all in that higher love now. But also allowing for your own darkness and not judging yourself. And not trying to be perfect for the world. Just being your true self. Can you allow yourself to be that? All right, let's see what the energy deck has to say. For everybody watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know and what do we need to learn? As I said, no, the clock is 10:56, which has to do with the Two of Swords, which is being in your knowing and keeping your energy clear. Or are you just pretending not to know so you don't have to deal with things? Again, those are two different perspectives. So from the energy deck, what do we need to know here? Take another deep breath. Blossoming abundance. Right, clearing all the negativity out so you can have this full abundance. So you can have the 3 pink trees across the street, the 3 of Mother Nature, of that perfect balance, the blossoming abundance, the flowers now coming out, and really appreciating, when you see the flowers come out like they are now, how beautiful they are. Oh, look at that. Those are the 2 most abundant cards in the deck. Thanksgiving and Mother's Day, every day. The 3 and the 11 of abundance and the Empress and justice for all. So what's 311 mean? Like 911 and 411, what's 311 mean? Because that's coming up here. Maybe we can call Abundance Day the 311. Oh, it's the 13th today. 3-1 is the reflection of 13. The reflection of death and transformation is abundance. Thanksgiving, or the abundance of food and light, which is nourishment for you, is coming up as truth and balance. And then the abundance of nature is coming up as the 3, the mother, Gaia. So justice for all means that everyone gets fed and nourished. And then here's the mother's love of nature that automatically helps you with that. And then the need to step back and take a break sometimes and take a bigger perspective on what's going on in your life or in the world. The 29 is being present in the moment. So that's really worldwide their energies. The next 2 cards, I wasn't going to show them, but because that was so complete in the energies, here's the energy of the masculine and feminine again, the 2 of the high priestess, which is also the Pisces energy, and the 19 of the sun, which is the Leo energy again. The 2 of the divine feminine, and the 19 of that sun father energy, the nourishment. And you see the light swirling around the masculine while he's taking a break. And here's the feminine on break, perhaps taking a hike or a journey, going on vacation, right? Enjoying the view while in the middle of the bridge, in suspended animation, knowing that she doesn't have to choose which direction she's going. She'll know when she gets there. Okay, so this is all about vacations and taking breaks. And then what comes next is Archangel Metatron, the magnetic, the 40 of the Page of Cups, the inner child. Then your third eye blasts wide open with your innocent inner child. And there's a pyramid there. The bottom of the deck is the broken heart. So coming away from this energy of purging, the dark night of the soul, was the process of expanding your heart so that it could become bigger after all and stronger. The 9 of the Hermit, the wise one, the going within to the collective consciousness as opposed to going without. Right? Go within instead of going without something. Connecting to your higher self. And there's the completion of the world. Coming full circle, the journey, right? The balance, the keys in the lock, right? Everything's set. Pens down, like after you finish taking your test, pens down, students. The 21 of the world and the strategy and getting there. Completion, they're both completion numbers, right? The end of the major arcana, the world, completion, and the 9 of completion, of endings and compassion, and the time to let things go, to clean house, like spring cleaning. Okay? The time to let things go so that you can start the new cycle again, because now the heart is healed. So I want to show you this pyramid formation that came up in the cards here that I pulled for you. Right? Here's all that abundance. And then the feminine on the journey, on vacation, the masculine taking a break, and then all coming into their inner child and being wide awake into the Page of Cups energy here. Really beautiful. So let's see what the journey of love has to say. It's like after enjoying the abundance of the world, you know, taking the time to step back and take a break, to see the bigger picture, to see the shadow side of the situation, to see the shadow side of yourself, and allow it all to integrate, to alchemize together and become back into the one again, back to 0 point, back into your third eye, and connecting to your inner child and your expansiveness. All right, so we talked about the crown and now the third eye. The Om and the Ha. Oh Ma. Oh my. And I brought that up the other day too. It's like the Om and the Ma is like, oh Ma, like, you know, saying Ma. And it's also the Om Ma is like the home. It's the same sounds. And the pearl threaded one to come out to be seen here, but I'm going to keep shuffling, okay? The pearl threads 38 is the Queen of Cups, who's very loving. So by the way, I woke up at 37 to 38 this morning. So yesterday the 38 and 38 that came up as the ruin site around Lake Van was 37 degrees by 38, which is the King Queen of Cups, and I woke up this morning at 37 to 38. That's when I woke up. And then 9 and 4 were coming up. And 9:14. All right, let's see here. All right, this is the back of the deck. Same one. So this is like coming full circle because now you're at the back of the deck, which is the main theme for the whole deck. So self-initiation is number 12, the Hangman. And here's 62 of the prison, the Eight of Swords, and the choice, whether you want to stay in that prison or walk out. There's 2 more cards that want to come out here, but I want to show you the bottom of the deck first. It's the distant shores of the moon and the rippling effect of the false light. And also the third eye, right? When you don't stay grounded, being in your third eye, you know, you can get into that darkness, distant shores of the moon. And there's the energies of the Thoth energy that we're splitting away from, right? The intellectual taking precedence over the heart, and the need to master the grounding, integrating, and receiving of love with the rings of time. You also see an old person in a wheelchair here. This can be a man or a woman or a bird, whatever, however you want to see it. There's many different perspectives. But the rings of time, when we get old, gives us time to ground and integrate what we didn't when we were younger, instead of doing the grounding, integrating as you go along. It's much harder if you wait till the end. Okay, and there's that kind of ripple effect. But it becomes, I'm getting from this card, it becomes exponential, the healing that you have to do the longer you wait. So those 2 cards came up, the self-initiation and the choice. It's always your choice if you want to stay imprisoned or not. And then these 2 cards came up, the Temple of 59, which is the 11th hour, and that rough energy, you know, waiting till the last minute. And then the Guardian of the Soul family of the 26th, which is that Page of Wands energy of inspiration. Page of Wands was up right here. The Knight of Wands was reversed. This is the 11th hour. The war within is the fear of what will happen in the next moment, instead of just being in the moment. You know, just truly appreciating the moment that you're in, really enjoying the moment. So we have that war within, and then the inspiration as well, the child, being able to see through a child's eyes. So here we have the 2 adults coming together and then making the family of 3 with the child, which I talked about yesterday from Sam's video. So go watch Sam's video if you want to check that out about the Garden of Eden, and then he did a second one yesterday too. And they're both really good. So let's see, self-initiation. So again, it's always your choice whether you want to stay in the prison or release yourself from that prison of being at war within, or being inspired, being the inner child, connecting with your third energy, right? Because this is just the one-on-one, and here's the 3 in the vortex. There's anxiety here at the 11th hour, but none here. This is the inspired child. So let's see what we're going to read here. So we're leaving the false light behind of distant shores and the false light energy of any light that doesn't serve us, and making sure we ground, because we're on Earth, we're humans on Earth, we need to ground ourselves and use Mother Nature to balance our energies, because nature is perfectly balanced automatically. So we have self-initiation, which this is named after. This book is 12. Let's see. All right, self-initiation, number 12. You're being touched by a wave of your own light in motion. Can you feel the blessings and love that are flowing towards you from within you in an upsurging wave of love? This is your own pure divine nature. You can choose to empower another as the carrier of your own divinity, of course, and sometimes if you're not quite ready to recognize your own divine essence, this needs to be. Yet at any moment, you can choose to recognize that it is you who are initiating yourself into love, that you are the being of light, the divine, that is drawing you forward into yourself. At any moment, you can choose to recognize yourself. Will this be such a moment? This oracle holds a message for you. There are many teachers on this path, some humble, some wise, some great companions on your life journey, and some who will enter in and out of your life quickly, perhaps imparting a helpful word or teaching you a more challenging lesson about trusting and relying upon your own wisdom. The greatest teacher, however, is life itself. You can trust in your own experiences and know that it is the divine spark within you, the life within you, that is the one true teacher who carries you home in awakened reunion with the divine. How easy to love. The words flow when it's right. I dare not tell you. So the second one having to do with the prison and choice, 62, I want to read that one for you too. It's 114:22, which is the magician, the angels, and the fool. What a great combination. All right, so the choice at 11:08. It's this justice and strength, the dance. Truth, balance, and the dance, a balance. As we have 62, which is an 8. And then 12 was a 3, and 3-8 came up yesterday too. The Queen of Cups is significant here. There is a choice that you need to make. You are aware of it already, or it's coming to your awareness very soon. Embrace the unknown, right? The 11th hour, the fear that comes from the unknown. Embrace the unknown and say yes. You have the opportunity to enrich your world, to receive and therefore be able to share much more. If anxiety or fear arises, guilt or shame, treat it as the cleansing of your emotional waters, that as they receive so much more inflow from the divine ocean. Let the old layers rise to the surface of your awareness to be washed away. What seems to be so much in the context of your own emotional waters is not so much at all when compared to what the great ocean is capable of holding. So let the divine ocean take the old, washing it away from you and replenishing you with the new, that you may serve life all the better. This oracle brings you guidance. It's safe to choose now. There's no wrong choice, just a choice that resonates with your heart. If it's challenging you, that's an opportunity for you to let the divine cleanse and lift you into the vibration where you feel at peace with your choice, where you can accept the grace it will bring to you. Do this now. It's your time to step up, make your life easier on yourself, and open to love in a more trusting way. Come now, the divine is calling you to play. And the poem reads, our lives are measured in choices we have made along the path we call living. Each compass point, a possibility, each step, an opportunity. Seemingly random, each decision moves us inexorably in a direction both unknown and yet somehow familiar, for upon reflection the strength we find in choosing, or the surrender of letting all unfold, leads us to the place we started from when we made that first choice to be here again. And I'm getting the energy of coming back to your childhood and being that inner child again, the journey of love. And don't we always talk about that as, old age is coming back to your child again, your inner child? Well, why do we just never leave our inner child and just stay in that place? And then all would be good. All would be love. All would be unconditional love at 11700, which is the magician, the star. And again, that source energy backing us all up. Okay, guys, take a deep breath. Drink your water, your sleep, your joy, your rest. Rise and be loved. Do whatever you want. Bless you. Bye.